Okay, so this is BroadswordMedia coming at you today with the Bourne Identity.
That's right. This is the start of the week of Bourne, and well, obviously this is the first of the right now Bourne trilogy, as the Bourne Legacy is coming out soon. So our main character, played by Matt Damon, he wakes up on a supply ship in the middle of the ocean, and he doesn't even remember who he is. Doesn't remember how he got there, but he still remembers how to fight, kicks people's asses, because he was well trained in a secret operative program called Treadstone, but he doesn't even remember what that even is either.
He's some sort of agent that has, completely lost his memory, but still has the same skill set, right? And he has to put together this puzzle. It first starts by going to this bank in Zurich. He finds names there, his own name, many, passports and so on, money, and then from there he has to put together this puzzle.
He arrives at a U.S. embassy, and they realize who he is, and they actually try to, they send out security to actually try to arrest him.
Yeah, they scramble on him, from which it was actually a really cool part of the movie, which was very calmly, he takes one of their scanners, so he knows what they're doing. He grabs a map of the building, starts navigating his way through, finds this exit, and then he scales the building.
Yeah, that part's really cool. He's like just grabbing onto the edge of the building, just a little bit away from where the guards look out the door, but it's in an area where they'd never check because you'd have to be pretty crazy to go to that spot of the building.
Yeah, a normal person couldn't do that.
But
so.
Jason Bourne, he can do that.
At this point in the movie, he meets this woman named Maria, which gives him a ride to Paris, and they try to develop this sort of love story, which doesn't really work in my opinion, and it's just kind of strange, and it's just something that kind of threw into the movie. Okay, so here's a few things that I really liked about this movie. First off, the car chase scene, and it was like about the middle of the movie or so. Jason Bourne is highly intelligent and highly dangerous, right? He kind of reminds me of almost like Batman, in a sense, right? Where this guy's out on his own, and probably the most interesting part is he's lost his memory, so he has to put all of this together. He has to put this entire puzzle together on his own, right? No help, no understanding.
And the only help he really has is that woman Maria, who drove him to Paris. But because of her helping him, the Treadstone finds out about her, and now she's in danger as well. So while she's helping him, he actually has to protect her from them as well. She brings him to this villa where he stays over for a night, but apparently there's a sniper played by Clive Owen who actually had been following Jason Bourne there, all the way over there, and Bourne, he's with his hyper senses he knows from his training, was well aware that he was there at nighttime, and in the morning gets like this hunting rifle and sneaks around and actually picks off that sniper while he's waiting for him to come up to him.
This is actually probably my favorite part of the movie, was because this is just a non-conventional, I guess, action sequence in a sense, where Bourne starts out by actually shooting some sort of fuel barrel or some sort of, I don't know what it was, but it creates a large explosion which creates a smoke screen, right? Which allows him to close in on this guy, and he's like, where would I be, if I wanted to kill me? It's a technical fight, and it's really won by strategy. In this fight, he is patient, right? He waits for the sniper to reveal himself, and then he proceeds to take him out.
So after he shoots the sniper, he finds out more information from him about who's trying to kill him, what program it is. Finds out about Treadstone, and he also realizes that he can't be around Maria anymore because him being with her just puts her in constant danger. So he leaves her, goes out on his own, and towards the end he starts actually taking the fight to Treadstone itself by actually calling the man in charge in that movie.
He does this really intelligently too, right? He calls out the director of Treadstone, forces him into a situation where he has to reveal himself, and also that he brought his people when Jason Bourne told him not to, which allows him to place a tracker on one of their vehicles, and then he brings the fight to them.
Yeah, I love this movie. I thought everything went together really well. Pretty good plot, although you had to use your imagination at some points. Um, the only thing I could really say I wasn't too into in this movie was the romance between Jason Bourne and Maria. I didn't really care that much for it. It wasn't really that necessary. It's like they just put it in there. But other than that, I just really enjoyed it.
Mm. What I really liked about this movie was they didn't give away a lot of information in the movie itself. It really made the audience have to think for themselves and try to, put things together. They didn't, hand it to you on a silver platter. The movie, I wouldn't say it was boring, but I was kind of waiting for things to happen at points, and I understand it was a subtle movie, and I understand what they were going for. It just didn't really work for me entirely. Alright, so I had my problems with this movie, but overall I would say I liked it. I'm giving this one a 6.5.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I had a hard time finding really very many flaws in it. Definitely one of my favorite movies out there. I'd give it a 9.8. So that brings our average to 8.2. If you want to get caught up on the Bourne movies before the Bourne Legacy comes out, get started with this one.
Alright, so that's our review of the Bourne Identity. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, and stay tuned for our review of the Bourne Supremacy. Tell us what you think about the Bourne Identity. Do you think it still holds up today? What movies would you compare it to? Which is it your favorite of the Bourne trilogy?